This is Ryko Rider, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII. This time we are going to cross the rest of the Sand Sea and get ourselves into the Tomb of Wraithwall. The ground over the Namyensa Sand Sea is a bit more stable than the ground over the Uratan, not the Ogre-Yensa Sand Sea. So you'll see a lot more actual desert rather than walking over oil platforms. Also, the enemies on this side are a little bit stronger. Oh wait, I think I'm missing something. I think. If you're at a reasonable level, even if there's a friendly monster, most of the time it's a good idea to attack it for not only XP, LP, and drops, also it's a good idea to defeat enemies to help complete your bestiary, because having a complete bestiary is one of the requirements for Order of Ambrosia if you're going for a 100% run. Right now, this is looking like it is going to be an any percent run for the thread, because this game is long enough as it is. I don't know if I'll want to do a 100% run anyway. I mean, we're already going on 50 videos and we're not even a quarter of the way through the game. Say that just Final Fantasy in any of its incarnations is a long game. Even the original Final Fantasy was considered a long game for its time. Most of the length in that game was artificial, though, because you had to do a ridiculous amount of leveling up just to be able to compete with the enemies. But a lot of old RPGs were like that. Once you got to FF6 and 7, or rather, well, no, even as far back as 4, the game was starting to get too easy because it was so easy to level up. You didn't even have to grind for levels or anything. You were fine. Of course, that was because we got FF4 Easy Type. The GBA version was not the Easy Type version. They actually made... It was actually a true port from the Japanese SNES Final Fantasy IV, including the difficulty, which I was actually pretty pleased about. I was wondering why the GBA version was so much harder than the Super Nintendo version. Towards the end of 10, you had to go back and do some grinding to be able to stand a chance against the final boss, but that's about it. In this game, they got it. I think they got it right. You have to do a little bit of grinding on occasion to be able to update your equipment, but that's just because of the way the treasure system is. But you don't have to grind. You don't have to grind for hours and hours on end. The only times you really have to grind are a little bit later in the game when the equipment just starting to get so expensive, like 4,000 gil a pop. I don't think that's until you get to Jahara, which is going to be quite a few videos away. It's going to be at least 15-20 videos down the road. Oh yeah, this is what I went back for. If you take the lower path to get the gate crystal instead of coming here, you're going to make the next battle very hard. You do not have to do this. This is a side quest. Your reward for it is the XII berries. And I mean, the game tells you that you should get your hands on some XII berries before you try to enter the Tomb of Wraithwall, because the boss here is this gigantic golden bird that really hates the XII berries, and if you use them on him, it lowers his, it cuts his stats in about half, and it also cancels out any special buffs he may have. At the start of the battle, he casts Enrage, which reduces his physical attack charge time to 0, which hits for triple-digit damage. And at that point in the game, that's a lot, especially when it doesn't take him any ATB to be able to charge it. It's winnable without the XII berries, it's just difficult. I don't think it's winnable without quickenings, though. With the XII berries, the boss is a joke.